Hi, I'm Arthur Himmel, and this is TLDR number 7. On TLDR, I sum up 5 news stories, each in 100 words or less. I've already explained everything else about this series in the last episode, so let's get started right away. Story number 1, Aku Advantage Salmon. On November 19th, the FDA, the body that regulates food in the US, announced that they are approving a genetically modified Atlantic salmon called Aku Advantage Salmon for people to eat in the US. It's the first meat in the US to get this certification. The genes changed in these fish change the way that the growth hormones are released in their bodies, allowing the salmon to grow to market size in a year and a half. The FDA says that the salmon are as safe to eat as regular salmon. Story number 2, the Argentine presidential elections. On November 22nd, the voting on the next Argentine president finished up. The election used an electric system where there were multiple rounds of voting, with a primary election in August, where any party with less than 1.5% of the vote was eliminated. Then they did another vote for all of the parties that survived the primary, and then they did a final voting round that just had the top 2 parties from the previous round compete. In the end, they elected Mauricio Macri from the center-right Cambiemos Party alliance, despite polling saying the center-left party would win. Story number 3, Russian plane shoot-down. On November 24th, a Russian bomber plane was shut down at the Syria-Turkey border by 2 Turkish Air Force F-16s, and 2 people were killed in the process. Turkey says that the bomber had trespassed into Turkish airspace, and Russia says that the bomber was in Syria until it got shot down. After the shoot-down, NATO had a meeting trying to sort things out. Putin denounced Turkey for their actions, and Turkey defended itself, saying the plane was violating airspace. Story number 4, the Raspberry Pi Zero. On November 25th, the Raspberry Pi Foundation, a non-profit based in the UK that makes super low-cost computers that can run certain versions of Windows and Linux from an SD card and attach to your TV or monitor, released their latest computer called the Raspberry Pi Zero that costs just $5. It's about the size of a credit card and has a fully functioning processor, motherboard, power supply, and RAM. It doesn't have as much CPU power as its more expensive brothers, but it still has the same amount of RAM. It'll run Linux from an SD card. Story number 5, France Memorial Service. On November 27th, France held a memorial service in Paris after the attacks on the 13th. At the event, the French government reaffirmed its vow to accept refugees while still being able to try to get rid of ISIL. They played some sad songs at the service and listed off the names of all the people who were killed in the attacks. They also said that they will go a bit harder with their military in Syria. And that's all there really is to say about this. And that concludes this TLDR. Click on the annotations to see the previous season of TLDR on my main channel, as well as some other stuff I put there too. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to share it across the web and tell your friends about my channels, and subscribe to get updated whenever new TLDR comes out.